Let's go. Welcome to Series 5 of the Electric Paraglider Winch project. Over the past month, I've been working hard to wrap up the project, but I've realized that I'm still in the research phase. It turns out I need to add more power to the motor. Currently, I'm using a 48-volt setup, which hasn't provided the required power, and the motor has been glitching. Fortunately, a simple solution is to add another battery in series to reach 72 volts. However, there are still challenges, such as achieving smoother motor performance and ensuring sufficient initial torque. The motor appears to generate torque at higher speeds, but at startup, it experiences glitches and doesn't deliver enough torque or sometimes stops running after a few seconds. My next task will be to test and fine-tune the voltage and settings to optimize this setup. Let's talk about what I've accomplished so far. First, my welding skills are still a work in progress. During testing, the weld connection between the hitch and the main plate broke. Thankfully, a central bolt prevented a complete equipment failure. I've since added extra reinforcements using 1-2 bolts around the hitch and to reinforce another rail, which has solved the issue. Secondly, I've developed a remote throttle system, allowing me to operate the winch solo in the field. Integrating the remote throttle was a bit complex, as the receiver's signals are pulse width modulated, PWM, but the controller I'm using requires a 0 to 5 VDC voltage. To address this, I added a PWM to analog voltage converter. You can find more details and a connection diagram on my Patreon page. Lastly, I've been experimenting with the controller settings to find the optimal configuration for generating enough thrust. I'm taking my paragliding winch out to the field to continue testing and dialing in the perfect configuration. I've realized that the only way to get everything working just right is to come out here, set up the equipment, and test it over and over, adjusting the controller settings each time. It can be a bit disappointing when you're all excited, expecting to get up in the air, but things don't work out as planned and the setup fails. Still, I have to admit, it's a really fun process. Every test brings me one step closer, and I'm confident I'll solve these final issues to make the dream of effortless, smooth flights a reality. Thanks for following along, and stay tuned for more updates.